This is the Merchmates.com podcast with your host, Lukey Boy. Merchmates is all about merch by Amazon, print-on-demand dropshipping, and entrepreneurial lifestyle. For all the latest tactics, hot selling niches, tips, tricks, and hacks, Merchmates is your one-stop podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to podcast number 15. Yes, I know what you're all thinking. It's been a while since I've done a podcast, and there's been a number of reasons for that. One is I had some real issues with my website after the last update to WordPress. For some reason, my podcasts weren't syncing to iTunes, so I got a professional in to help me with that, which is now working perfect. And you might get a couple of updates come through on your iPhone or your Android phone, just to let you know that there's some episodes that have been sort of rehashed through iTunes. Now, what I want to talk about is a couple of things today. I want to talk about what you should be focusing on for the fourth quarter. I've actually got a new job, and I want to talk to you about that because I'm sure it can help you guys. And the Printful and Etsy integration. And I want to show my progress and share that with you. And I want to talk about where I'm at with merch at the moment, and just a little plug at the end about a new book that I'm working on. So we'll jump right in, guys, and I'll talk to you quickly about where I'm at with merch by Amazon. Okay, so as you guys know, I've been on the 500 tier for a little while now, and I've sort of been fluctuating between about 320 designs and about 350. So essentially what happens is I tend to get about 4 to 5 designs up most nights. I have a 9 to 5 job, and I get home and I've got a family to look after and a young baby who's only 15 months old, and that takes a lot of time. So I just don't get, a lot of time to sort of upload 10 designs at a time. And unfortunately with that, it tends to mean that every 90 days, any designs that aren't selling get removed, and then I'm sort of stuck at that 320 odd designs. But I just read a post today by Neil from Merch Informer, and he was talking about how his girlfriend is re-uploading any designs that get removed with no sales, and she's been doing really well. So I would strongly recommend that you guys do that. I have seen success with that too. Last week I took 10 designs that didn't sell and re-uploaded them, and used some really new keywords that I hadn't used or sort of thought about previously, and I had 3 sales the next day. So definitely, if you're at that stage where I am, where you're sort of stuck at that 300 odd threshold, it's knuckle down and do your best to get those older designs back up again. Now, as I mentioned, I've actually got a new job. So previously I was working for a large bank here in Australia and working in their IT department. And now that I've been doing e-commerce for about 12 months or more, I really wanted to take that to the next level. So for me, that's becoming a Facebook marketing expert. And I've seen a new role come up in the bank that I work for, in the marketing department, and I jumped on that and was lucky enough to get that new job. So I feel very privileged to be able to get that, and I know that it's going to really increase my knowledge when it comes to using Facebook to do marketing, and also Google to drive traffic to my Shopify store once I get around to getting all of that set up. Now, if you remember in my last podcast, I mentioned that I just got started with Printful and the new Etsy integration. And I've seen a lot of sort of chatter through Facebook in the various groups I'm a part of, with people a little bit unsure as to how it all works. So today I'm actually going to do a screen recording of where my account's at, how much I've earned, how to get started, and the whole process of Printful and Etsy integration. Now, just before I start to share my screen, I just want to quickly talk you through the old process that you would have to use for Printful and for Etsy. So prior to Printful getting the integration in, what would happen is if you wanted to drop ship t-shirts to Etsy, you'd have to go through a fairly long process of applying for outside manufacturing on Etsy. Now, I actually did that about 6 months ago, and I really took my time to do it properly. I had very professional looking images. I did a really detailed application, but I got knocked back. And I think that's probably because Etsy could tell that maybe I wasn't as established as some of the other t-shirt drop shippers. But now with the new integration, basically what you do is you will go to Printful first. You'll sign up for an account there. You'll add all your designs, or you can actually just add your Google Drive account. That's where I save all of my designs. And you can add that link into Printful, and then all your designs will start to show up. Now, what I'm going to do, I'll just quickly bring up my Printful account. I'm going to log in. Okay, so what happens is you'll see all of your orders coming through. It'll tell you when they come through. It'll tell you how much the amount was. And as you can see, I've had a lot of orders coming through in the last couple of days. And you can see over here that it's waiting to be fulfilled. I've had a few issues with t-shirts not syncing. If you have questions about that, just let me know, because I can talk you through what I've been doing. And you can also see when a shirt is being fulfilled. Now, at the moment, most of the orders are being fulfilled within about 5 days. And then there's, 2 or 3 days shipping time on top of that. So that's just in the US. I have had 2 or 3 orders go outside the US, but they were pretty quick to get sent out as well. Now, up the top here, you can see your profit in the last 28 days. You can see all of your orders in the last 7 days. And it's a really good dashboard that Printful has, and I actually really like using it. Now, once you have signed up for Printful, you will then go to Etsy and sign up for an account. Now, what will happen when you first sign up is it's going to ask you to add a product. Now, don't really worry about that too much, because all you really want to do is just go all the way through the application process. You don't actually have to add a t-shirt, because once you get approved and you're set up as a seller on Etsy, that's when you add a t-shirt in Printful. So I'll just show you quickly how that looks. So what I want to do is I go to my stores. I click on add, because I want to add a new t-shirt. Okay, this will obviously come up and ask me what product I want to sell. I've had a lot of success just with t-shirts. I know a lot of people doing really well with wall art. I haven't tried anything else. I know leggings do well, but they're quite expensive. So definitely have a look at the other products that they sell and jump on Etsy and see what's doing well. So I go into shirts and obviously pick whatever shirt is applicable. So I might just I'll go t-shirts here, click on unisex. And if I wanted a lot of colors, the Bella and Canvas one is a good one. The Gildan here is $8.95, so obviously a really good profit margin. So I'll pick this one here. And then here, it's going to ask you to choose a file for the front of your t-shirt. Now, don't worry that you can't see any colors here yet. That's normal. So what we'll do is we'll choose file. And I'll just find one here. Okay, so just pick that one there. Okay, so my design is actually white, so I can't see it on this t-shirt. So what I'll do is I'll click on the black and navy. Okay, so as you can see, looks really good. You can scale that if you want, but my suggestion to you is just make it the maximum size on that t-shirt. Okay, you can see I can pick any of the different sizes I might want for this t-shirt, but I'm just going to select all, because all sizes are in stock. If a particular size was not in stock, it would let you know. There'd be like a prompt down the bottom here. So now what I'll do is I'll go to mockups. Just before I do that, just make sure that your DPI is good. Otherwise, the quality of your print won't be very good. Now that's not actually fitting in very well, so I'll just zoom that back. That looks good. So we'll go to mockups. Okay, proceed to description. Now, this is where whatever you put in here is going to come across to Etsy. It's going to synchronize across. So you might just go funny taco shirt, and then I go space dash, I don't know, let's go taco lover t-shirt, and then you get the idea. You would fill this in. I normally do about 3 or 4 different dashes like that so that it takes up that whole area. The description, I'll let you know what you need to put in here, but just to getting started, this is perfectly fine. But I found that a lot of people want exact measurements for the t-shirt. So if you guys want that, you can head over to my website, merchmates.com, and you'll see all the measurements and everything I put in there, so that anyone asking about the shirt has that. So now what I'll do is go to pricing. Okay, so you can see each of the shirts is slightly different in pricing. The 3XL being obviously a bigger shirt is going to cost more, but what I tend to do is set my profit margin up the top. So let's say I want to make 70% profit off this shirt. It will price it at $19.50. Now, what I have found with Etsy as compared to merch by Amazon is that shirts tend to be priced higher and sell at a better profit margin. So I've been pricing my shirts at about $22 each. Okay, so a 95% profit margin makes the shirts $22.50. So that's my suggestion. Just bump it up to 95%. You're going to make really good profit out of those shirts, and then go submit to store. So what will happen, you'll get this synchronization just here. And then when you wait about 30 odd seconds, you will notice that that will pop up in your Etsy store. So I'll flick across to my Etsy store, and I'll just blur out the screen there for a second, but I'll go to listings. And each item that you bring across from Etsy will go into your listings, but it will go into your draft listings. Okay, so over here on the right hand side, you can see I've got draft. So I click on draft, and then there's my shirt just here. Now, you can see it's that Printful has populated heaps of information. It's populated the title, the category, if there's more than one color, which obviously I've got 2 for this particular shirt, and it's populated the description as well. Now, when you're setting up your Etsy account, it will ask if you have a production partner, which you will need to fill in. So I'm going to select Printful. Section, if you have any sections, just put in whatever is applicable. You might just do apparel or funny. And then your tags need to match very closely what you put in your description. So I would obviously have something like funny taco shirt. So funny taco shirt, taco lovers shirt, etc. So you can have up to 13, I think, I can't remember exactly, but you know, you can have a lot of tags there, and that's going to help people find your shirt. Now, as you scroll down, you can see that Printful's brought across all the sizes, which is really, really helpful in both colors as well. And it's also got all the shipping rates for each of these different things. So that's really helpful. It saves you having to go in and manually select all of that. So what I would do now is I can either save it as a draft if I'm want to come back and make some edits, or if I'm happy, I'd hit publish, and then I get a prompt from Etsy to say that I'm going to be charged a 20-cent non-refundable fee, which is, in my opinion, perfectly fine, because the profit I make from this is well going to outweigh that. So there you go. So that's how simple the process is. Now, I've had people ask me about the return process, and Printful actually covers this on their website in detail, and it's a very fair return process. So, if the shirt's not printed properly, if the wrong color got sent, etc., etc., they have a 30-day return window, and I put all of that into my product description, because I've had people sending me messages daily asking about, if I get the wrong color, blah, 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 can I send it back? So I'll provide that for you. Head over to merchmates.com. You'll see it on the blog post there, and you guys can copy and paste that. Okay, so that's currently my flavor of the month, I guess you'd say. But I just want to share some actual stats with my store so you can see how it's going. So I'll click on stats on the left. Okay, so just to let you guys know, I started the store in September. Since September, I've had a profit, and I'll go all time. I've had a profit of $496.70. I've had 20 orders. I've had 588 visitors to my store. In the last week, I've had... My revenue for the last week has been $356.35, and I've been doing promoted listings. So once you get set up in Etsy and you've got your shirts listed, you can go in and you can set a daily budget for Etsy to promote your t-shirts, and I have seen real success with that. So once you guys get in there and maybe get your first 20 shirts up, go in and go into the marketing tab here on the left and go into promoted listings, and you can set your daily budget. Now, just to let you know, I had a little bit of an issue with that when I first started. It would only let me have $1 for the week, and I didn't know why. So I sent an email to Etsy, and what they said is I needed to pay my first bill, and as you pay your bill for each month, they gradually increase your promoted listing or marketing budget. So if you guys get in there and you get stuck and you can't work out why you can only spend $1, that's why. So look, guys, if you've got any questions about Etsy or getting started, or you can't set up your store, just hit me up on Facebook or on the website, and I'll get back to you and help you out with that. Okay, so a lot of information, obviously, in this podcast about Etsy, and the reason I'm sort of promoting it fairly hard is I think for a lot of people that are out there waiting to get accepted into Merch by Amazon, I think that this is an absolute golden opportunity to build your own store. You can collect information about your customers. You have a lot of control over your store. You have to remember, it's very much like Amazon. You can't sort of go out there and rip people's designs off because Etsy will kick you off the platform. But you can get started so easily and start making money so quickly. So you guys can see I only started in September, and I've nearly done $500 worth of sales already. So at the moment, I'm consistently seeing about 2 to 3 shirts being sold each day. And as we get into the last quarter for the year, that will obviously keep on increasing. And as I put more shirts up each night, that will continue to grow as well. So I've only got about 125 shirts up at the moment. And I haven't optimized all of those. I just wanted to get them up as quick as possible. But SEO in Etsy is a little bit different than what you would find in Merch by Amazon. And I might even leave that for the next podcast. So if you have questions about SEO in Etsy, just let me know. Anything you have questions about when it comes to listing your shirts, I'll let you know everything I've sort of found over the last month or two. So that's it for the podcast, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you got any feedback, if you're loving the podcast, please head over to the site. And just one quick plug before I go. I have got a brand new ebook coming out very soon about my journey, almost 12 months of Merch by Amazon. and that book is called Escaping the Lower Tiers, and I'm hoping to have it out before the end of the year, and it'll be definitely aimed at people that are just getting started with Merch by Amazon. So I'll leave it there for this week, guys. Thanks so much for joining me again, and I appreciate your support. Cheers, guys. Bye.